Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to gloomy, icy Toronto. Yeah, man. Faith! And that's what we're going to talk about. How to develop your faith muscle. How to develop faith. On this channel, we talk about everything and anything that makes us not awesome, but the best, awesomest human beings ever. Ever, ever, ever. Faith. Substance unseen, unrealized. And guess what? You want it. You want moolah. You want whatever you want. You want good health. But let me ask you a question. What is faith to you? How would you describe it? How would you describe what faith is? If I asked you to go to somebody and describe faith, what would you say? If you don't know what faith is, let's say, for example, I tell you to go to a blind man and describe to him faith. Or the color red. How would you describe the color red to a blind man? Because he's never seen it. How would you describe it? Same with you. How would you describe faith if you've never seen it? It is like magic woo-woo stuff, right? But you want something and you're expecting it and you want it. And that's what we're going to talk about. Develop that magic faith, belief, mindset. Faith is substance unseen, unrealized. And guess what? You want it. Faith is a state of mind wherein one recognizes and uses the power of positive thought as a medium by which one contacts and draws upon the universal storehouse of infinite intelligence at will. Wow! So then what's fear? The opposite of faith. Fear. 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 What is fear? Is a state of mind as well, where one recognizes and uses the power of negative thought and draws upon the universal storehouse of infinite intelligence at will. Faith and fear are opposites of each other. It is a mindset. It is a belief. Therein is the answer. Fear is a tool made by a human being who believes in this way of living, which hurts him if he lives in a fearful state. But guess what? Faith is a tool which builds a triumphant life of a person who uses it for himself. It is more than that. It is a link to the universal storehouse of infinite intelligence at will, where a person who is a faithful person realizes that fear and defeat is only a temporary experience. Therefore, a faithful person acts in a persistent way to get what he wants in his life. Wow. Wow. In other words, persistence is another word of what? Faith. Do you know somebody like that in today's day and age? Elon Musk, for example, all the successful people in this world, like the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Look how persistent these successful people in this world are. So how do you develop the faith muscle? Your subconscious mind is a direct link to your Creator's mind. So if you're vibrating, which you are, in a negative state of mind, that is creating a faith in your life, a negative faith. Therefore, that is what you're attracting in your life. Wherein one vibrates in a positive state of mind, always thinks positive, your subconscious mind is a direct link to the universal storehouse of infinite intelligence at will. Then guess what happens to you? That is what you're attracting in your life. Therein is the answer. Thought energy is always coming in your life. As a God's greatest creation, you have the ability to accept or reject any idea. I mean any idea. But an ignorant person, what do? Negative energy is coming in their life. Somebody said something to them. Somebody saying you look ugly. Some people say that you will never achieve anything in your life. Or somebody will say money does not grow on trees. And you accept that idea. And you emotionalize it and you repeat it over and over again. And you create this negative picture in your mind. And guess what? It becomes a state of mind in your mind to be a negative person. And guess what? You have created negative faith. You have created fear in your life. You have created lack, limitation, ill health in your life. And your body is vibrating in that way. And guess what? That is what you start attracting in your life. Because you are become a negative person. And you have created negative faith muscle. Wow. I, Kareem Nanji, is guided by my faith. My positive faith. Why? Because faith is everything in my life. Why? Because I created positive faith in my life. Why? Because if I'm vibrating in that way, and if I know my subconscious mind is a direct link to my God mind, and I know it is a choice to pick and choose any energy that I am coming into my life. Why? Because if I'm doing that, I am building my faith muscle. And I vibrate in a positive way. And guess what? That is what comes into my life. Because I am vibrating in that way. I always ask myself now, never used to, what or who am I becoming right now in this moment? And that should be your gauge in your life too. Always ask yourself, who am I becoming in my life right now? And guess what? You will see amazing things happen in your life. Always ask yourself, who or what am I becoming right now? See, faith is your head chemist in your mind, as Napoleon Hill says. Whatever you feed to your mind, the inputs that you put in your mind, is how you will start thinking and developing faith muscles in that area. Therefore, that is the answer. Who or what are you surrounding yourself with? What kind of information are you surrounding yourself with? Whatever inputs that you put in your mind, and you emotionalize it, and you repeat it over and over again, you have developed that kind of faith muscle in your life. If you, let's say, if you say to yourself a lie over and over and over again, and you believe your lies, guess what? That is what you're going to get in your life. Because you've developed that kind of faith muscle. And that muscle is attracting in your life. That's why your thoughts and words and speech are image of your mind. You want to change your mind, then change your thought, speech, and the people that you attract and around with. You will change your image of your mind, because your mind thinks in pictures. Just try it. On this channel, I have never ever told or said to anybody that do what I am saying to you. Just try it on yourself. And if it works, then thank me. If it doesn't work, just say, I will never ever listen to this loser again. And I am not a loser, because words have power. I am a winner, and I will continue to be a winner in my life, because I live in my world undisturbed by the external forces and events in this world. I create my world in my mind. I suggest you do that too. Just try it. Create your world in here. Develop your faith muscle and see what happens in your life. This is a master class, how to develop faith muscle. If you practice this way of living, your life, as you know it, will transform into great heights. I guarantee it. You know why? Because it has mine. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so we can make this world the best world ever. Live consciously, with purpose, in this moment now, and with the freaking passion. That is the word. Passion coming out of you. And guess what? You will see how your life transforms into great heights. And I love the word transforms, because it's like a little cocoon, and all of a sudden you become into a beautiful butterfly. And I want that for you. I want you to transform into great heights. And faith is a muscle that you must develop. You know why? You know why? Because it will transform you into great heights.